This is a presentation of the Moldy Cheese family of networks.
Alright, Cheeseheads, we have got season number 1 preview coming up here. It's episode 0 of our Jacksonville Jags franchise. So the Jags are under new ownership. They have been bought by billionaire hedge fund manager Dick Wahad. And let's take a look at some strengths and weaknesses. First off, some strengths. Obviously, Leonard Fournette at the running back is a strength. The defensive line, this is a top 5 defensive line in the NFL. Quarterbacks with Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye, very good. Looking at the AFC South, there's not a dominant team, so it's wide open. Offensive line is a definite weakness. Outside linebackers are going to struggle. The safeties are a little soft up the middle. And depth is a huge concern for this team. Let's look at the individual position groups and assess where we're at, starting with the quarterbacks. The quarterback situation, Blake Bortles is out. Nick Foles is in. He is basically a game manager, but he did manage a team to a Super Bowl victory. We don't have a lot of depth at the quarterback position. Gardner Minshew is the backup, a rookie from Washington State. Threw a lot of passes at Washington State in Mike Leach's offense, so definitely used to slinging the ball around, but the NFL will be a big jump for him. Alex McGuff is the third string quarterback. Probably be on the practice squad. The running back situation, Leonard Fournette, obviously one of the better running backs in the league. Not the best, but he does have a lot of power. He'll run people over. And, I mean, above average running back in Leonard Fournette. Alfred Blue, the backup. He is another power back from LSU. So we got an all LSU backfield there with our starters. Benny Cunningham out of Middle Tennessee State. Just an average running back. Again, depth is a huge concern. Should Leonard Fournette go down, heaven forbid, we would have some trouble. Thomas Rawls, a fourth running back, former Seahawk. The receivers. Wide receivers starting with Marquise Lee, the top receiver, 5 years out of USC, and he's pretty good. He's a decent deep threat. Not a real possession receiver. Short routes aren't his thing. D.D. Westbrook, this guy is a future star. He is in his second year out of Oklahoma. Can play outside as well as in the slot. Keelan Cole from Kentucky Wesleyan, also a deep threat. So, I mean, our offense is going to be kind of pound the ball, and then take some play-action shots over the top. Chris Conley from Georgia in his fourth year, another young receiver. Mostly an outside guy at 6'3", 205. And Terrell Pryor, we all know him from Ohio State. Super athletic receiver, but buried on the depth chart. Full of average receivers. DJ Chark Jr., I like to call him Baby Chark, because he's junior, you know, Baby Chark. Okay, I've got a little baby, so that's going to be in the forefront of my head. Tight ends. All right, so Austin Safarian-Jenkins is out. James O'Shaughnessy in a 6'4", 245-pounder out of Illinois State. Not a huge strength for us at the tight end, but these guys are pretty good pass-catching tight ends, not great blocking tight ends in the running game, and that does not help because our offensive line is fairly weak. Third-string tight end, Josh Oliver out of San Jose State. Just an average third-string tight end. Nothing great there on the tight ends, so let's look at the offensive line. This is where we're going to really struggle. Cam Robinson, the left tackle, overall is a 69. Guys, you don't want your left tackle to be a 69 overall. Not good. His backup is Josh Wells from James Madison, 5-year player. He's a 65 overall, so not a lot of depth on the offensive line. Andrew Norwell might be our best offensive lineman. He is the left guard. 325 pounds in his 5th year out of Ohio State. And he's overall an 84. Casey McDermott, A huge drop-off at the backup left guard position from 84 down to 54, so heaven forbid Norwell gets hurt. The center is Brandon Linder. He is very good. So the interior of our offensive line is a lot better than the outside tackles. And the right guard is A.J. Cann, fourth year out of South Carolina. He's a 71. That's not great. So our left guard and our center are good. The rest are just serviceable and young. Hopefully will improve. Like this guy, Jawan Taylor, a rookie out of Florida. He is our starting right tackle. So the offensive line will struggle. The defensive line will not struggle, however. Calais Campbell, one of our two X factors. He is a run stopper, speed rusher, power rusher, and he's very good. Josh Allen, this guy is it's hidden right now what he is going to be, but I have a feeling that Josh Allen's going to be a star and very good. Yannick Ngakoue from Maryland, he is also good. I mean, this defensive line is top 5, maybe top 2 in the NFL with, I don't know, maybe Houston, the Rams. I mean, they're top 3 or 4 in the NFL for sure. Lorente McCray out of Florida. Marcel Darius from Alabama in his 8th year. He's played 8 years in the NFL. That's insane. I remember him at Alabama. Time flies, guys. Marcel Darius, pretty good interior defensive lineman. Taven Bryan is second year out of Florida, and he will develop quickly as well. So a lot of bright spots on the defensive line. Avery Jones is a backup defensive tackle, providing some depth. 6th year from Georgia. And let's look at the linebackers. This is a weak spot for us, a spot that we're going to want to develop and get better. Leon Jacobs, second year out of Wisconsin. He is a 69 overall, the starter at the left outside linebacker spot. Like I said, the outside linebackers are definitely a weakness. DJ Alexander out of Oregon State, backup left outside linebacker. Middle linebackers, Miles Jack is probably the best linebacker we have in the middle. So it's really the outside linebackers that are a weakness. Miles Jack is very good, but he cannot cover sideline to sideline from the middle linebacker spot. And the outside guys are going to hurt us this year. Jake Ryan is not horrible, but again, it's going to be a struggle on the left side of the outside linebackers. Telvin Smith, though, is very good. Very good linebacker in his 6th year out of Florida State. We just don't have a lot of depth at the linebacker. We've got 2 good linebackers and then a bunch of average linebackers behind them or surrounding them. Cornerbacks, absolute strength of this team. Overall, the defense is a strength. The offense is a weakness. You've got to look at it that way. Jalen Ramsey is our second X factor along with Calais Campbell. Great man-to-man cover guy, good in the zone, good against slot. His superstar X-Factor ability is a shutdown corner, and he will cancel out the other team's best receivers. It's a matter of our linebackers and safeties covering the slot guys and tight ends and backs out of the backfield and stuff like that. That's going to be where we struggle. He makes acrobatic plays. That's his superstar ability, not quite his X-Factor superstar ability, but not bad. Jalen Ramsey will be all over the field, and A.J. Boye, the other cornerback, is not bad either in his 6th year out of Central Florida. He's an 88 overall, so our 2 starting cornerbacks are fantastic, and they should lock down the outside. It's going to, like I said, it's going to get a little sketchy in the slot and the tight ends and the running backs out of the backfield and stuff like that. We have 3 good corners and then a big drop-off to Trey Herndon here in his 2nd year out of Vanderbilt, 62. So heaven forbid any of our starting corners get hurt. Safeties is another concern for us. Cody Davis, our starting free safety, is a 72 overall and has 6 years of experience out of Texas Tech. And he's kind of a hybrid, not great against the pass, not great against the run, somewhere in between. C.J. Rivas, out of Marshall in his 2nd year is a 63. He's a backup free safety. Ronnie Harrison's the other starter at 71 overall, and he's also kind of an in-between guy. A little bit of run support, a little bit of pass coverage, better at zone than at man. And so that's going to be tough because we're going to want to play man a lot with our two great corners. But if we, line up and play man with our safeties, we might be in trouble. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. Zedric Woods, another safety, providing some depth. Let's look at the kickers. In the special teams, the kicker is Josh Lambo. He's pretty good. I like Josh Lambo. 79, 4 years out of Texas A&M. And the punter is Logan Cook. He's not a great punter, but hopefully we don't need him on the field so much. We'll see how that turns out, though. Let's look at our schedule here in year number 1. We start off against Patrick Mahomes, cover boy of Madden 20, and the Kansas City Chiefs at home. Then we take on the Houston Texans. That'll be a tough first 2 games. If we can split those, that would be fantastic. If not, we have the Titans, the Broncos, and the Panthers next. Those are some winnable games. The Titans should be a battle. The Broncos, we gotta think that's a win. We play the AFC West and the NFC South this season. So those are a preview of our first 5 games. This was Franchise Zero. It's a season preview. Up next, week number 1 against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here on the Moldy Cheese, Jacksonville Jaguars Network.